Hello everybody, my name's Deaseth, and today I'm gonna be talking about Fallout 4. But not just about anything in Fallout 4, I'm gonna talk about the game as a whole. Now, I know I've been making videos in the past about just, chems and just for the lore, because I found that interesting, but now I would like to talk about Fallout 4, the main story, what I think of the game, and the biggest question, does Fallout 4 suck? Well, alright. First of all, I would like to say that this video is gonna contain a lot of spoilers. So if you don't wanna hear any spoilers or haven't played the main story and still wanna keep that a surprise, well, then you probably shouldn't watch this. And I also would like you to know that everybody is allowed to have their own opinion, and so do I. So if you don't agree with me, then that's fine. But don't go cry baby about it in the comment section, cause that's just a waste of your time. Okay, well, Fallout 4 begins pre-war. You have a wife, you have a kid. I played myself as the husband, the sole survivor. I spent pretty much hours sculpting and changing my sole survivor as well as his wife. And like Todd Howard said, this will affect how your child will look, and of course this made me think that my wife in the game and the child Sean would have a much bigger role. But sadly, both the pre-war period only lasted like a couple in-game minutes before the bombs already dropped, so you didn't really get to build affection or anything with your family. You basically just get shoved in the shoe of this random soldier guy from Boston that just lives in the suburbs. Maybe not everybody wants to start out like this. Oh, but you can make mods for that. Well, I don't care. I'm just talking about how in Fallout 3, of course, you get shoved in the shoes of being the lone wanderer. You have to go after your dad, but you still have a much bigger option of developing who you are. And this is especially well done in Fallout New Vegas because it's quite blank. You get to fill in the blanks. You don't get forced to be something. You don't get forced to be a husband and a wife. I mean, I didn't mind it too much myself, but I can understand for people who like to get into the role-playing aspect that this is quite difficult, and I will get further into that later on in the video. Now, once the guy starts knocking on your door from Vault-Tec, and you get to do some of your skill points, well, it's not even skill points, it's just special stats, really. And the whole entire skill point system is thrown out of the window. Now you have a perk tree with so many useless shitty perks that you don't even use. Like, it won't matter what gameplay style you were gonna do, cause you're gonna do the entire thing the same anyway. You ain't gonna pick useless stats, and it won't really affect the dialogue either for your gameplay. So, not like in Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas that when you get the lady killer perk you get different lines, or when your intelligence is too fucking low. Stuff like that. And there's also no talk wheel for your companions. Well, I can understand some people found this more annoying, but to be honest I found it quite simple and comfortable, so that's my opinion on it. Also, of course, everybody has been in a bit of a stir about this, the voice protagonist. What I think about the voice protagonist is that it could have been great. It could have been, but you, of course, get shoved in the shoes of the sole survivor. They only have one actor to choose from, and you kind of get forced to be the grumpy, deep voiced man that he is. Maybe I didn't want that. Maybe I wanted to adjust it at least a little, or even just a pitch. But nope, you don't get a choice in that. Then we go into the storyline. You get cryogenically frozen, your wife gets killed by some bald Kellogg's cereal brand, and then you have to go out and you have to try to find your son. But of course, first you get dragged into a faction of goody two-shoes, the Minutemen. I did help the Minutemen, and I am basing all these facts on my friggin' 145 hours that I spent in this game, so don't just go say that I talk crap. And I'm also comparing it to the 185 hours I have in Fallout New Vegas, and the plus 100 something I have in Fallout 3. I can't really look up how many hours I have on that right now. But yeah, the Minutemen, they are your average do-good, you know, faction. They're led by Preston Garvey, aka the settlement helper in need. He basically doesn't do shit. You become general in about one or two quests, and then you have to build settlements for the people that keep complaining that they want defense, even though you have like 185 freaking defense with turrets and guards and people with fat mans, and it doesn't matter because it's just broken. The whole entire settlement system is broken, and not just for me, for a lot of people. Getting that 100% happiness achievement is one of the hardest in the game because it's so broken. And, you know, don't forget about all the Minutemen quests you will get. Another settlement needs your help. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Fuck off! I've done 10 of those in a row now. I don't want to do more settlement quests. Go away, Preston. That's one of the things that bothers me. The Radiant quest, they keep going and going. You might be doing the main storyline, but meanwhile there's like 16 Radiant quests that will never go away. And, you know, like, once you progress in the main story, you get to choose. You get to choose between the railroad, a bunch of tech heads who have a robot fetish and they want to save all the sins because they are people, and in the process they kill everyone. The Brotherhood of Steel, who of course takes all the technology for themselves and, you know, think they are saving humanity even though they are building a giant fucking death robot to stop anyone in their way. And the Institute, also a bunch of robot fetishists who have no clue what the upside world really is, but, you know, they're just hidden in their hole. Now, you progress in the storyline, you find Kellogg, you shoot Kellogg because he's a dick, then you progress, you know, like you have to do some more shit to find him, you build a freaking power relay, you get teleported into the Institute, and you find out that Sean is a grandpa. All that effort to find out that Sean is a grandpa. Now, you've already avenged your wife, still shitty. You've now found your son. You first get kinda pranked into thinking that your son is still small, he's just in the chamber, but no, it was a synth. And Sean is an old bastard raised by a bunch of weirdos with very different beliefs than I have. When I first met Sean, I don't know, I didn't really feel that much, I didn't really have a connection. I mean, you know, this is your son now, he is raised by a bunch of different people, he doesn't know you, you don't know him, you barely have, you know, it's just completely messed up. And then he even gets the guts to ask you, like, could you love that robot boy? Could you love him as your own child? And I said no. And then later, when the Minutemen and me blow up the Institute, because these guys think, you know, when I spoke with Sean on the roof, it was clear that he's a freaking nutcase, and anyone supporting the Institute by then, I don't understand what you were thinking, but, you know, whatever floats your boat. But still, you go and blow up the Institute, you find Sean, he's sick in his bed, he kind of thinks you're a dick, he's like, oh, are you gonna rub it in my face now? And, you know, you don't have a connection, and you try to say like, well, I'm not a bad guy, you know, and he's still like, yeah, you're still gonna destroy it, so you're kind of like an asshole. The whole story is just, it's like a fucking garbage can. Everything is thrown in and it's mixed up, and everything is like, they try to make it so deep and put twists in it, but it's as if it's rushed. And after that, you blow up the Institute, your wife is dead, Sean is dead. What does your survivor have to live for? You know, like, if it was a story and I would be writing it, I would make my freaking soul survivor do a backflip off the Trinity Tower. Because what the fuck does he have to go on for? And, you know, what then? You only have the Radiant quest for the Minutemen. For instance, since I was doing the Minutemen route. You get to fight the Brotherhood of Steel, and there's no special ending. After blowing up the Institute, you get a really short ending that's almost no different from the other endings, and makes everything you did in the game, all those little details, they make little to no change. Like in Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, once you've completed it and you've missed stuff, the game will tell you that you missed stuff, that you messed up, and that's normal. You know, they show you what effect your actions have. And this was completely lacking in Fallout 4, and it disappointed me. The whole role-playing aspect was almost taken out of it for funny, sarcastic jokes and a wheel with words where you can't even see what you're about to say. I find that quite disappointing. And yeah, after that, I also just kind of felt I didn't feel like playing anymore, and I had already like early in the game when I had like 25 hours, I felt like this isn't Fallout or the Fallout I know. Of course, throughout the series, I've played Fallout 1, 2, and of course it changed from Fallout 1 to Fallout 3, but I found it a pleasant change, and it still had somewhat of a role-playing aspect to it. And Fallout New Vegas, it got even more fun and wacky, and I like that. But in Fallout 4, it's kind of like a Mass Effect rip-off thrown in a garbage can with the remains of Fallout universe, and I don't know. Legendary enemies aren't rare. The dialogue is messed up. And the Radiant quests. Those are really things that bother me. And would I say this game is good? It is good, but not as a Fallout game, and I wouldn't recommend it for the diehard Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 fans. But, you know, if you want to waste some hours and it gets a discount, sure, get it, you know? But otherwise, no, not really. Or for people who have never touched a Fallout series, I think it might be a good game, you know, but otherwise you'll probably be left disappointed. So that was my opinion on it all, and that was it for today. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the future. Alright, see ya!